Hi, I'm Life Coach Landry, and the topic is 4 questions you need to answer before getting back with an ex. I think everybody at some point probably sits there and says, yeah, I really like this guy, I really like this girl, and we've been together 6 months, a year, but we broke up, and, I'm still yearning for them, and I'm still hurting, and this is going to help you kind of figure out whether it's out of vulnerability, and loneliness is the reason why you're still yearning for them, or if you actually had a connection and a bond that meant you need to overcome what broke you up and get back together, okay? So despite, limitations, research shows that an urge to reunite is kept strong by lingering feelings, not dating other people after a breakup, and feeling though an on and off nature relationship is actually improves it, right? But in the end, sometimes somebody is worth going back to. Sometimes you did make a mistake, or they made a mistake that the love and the compatibility of you two can overcome, okay? So I'm going to give you 4 things. Number 1, why did you break up? Okay, breaking up on the grounds of distance, if you relocated, or a large kind of just misunderstanding blow up like a typical couple has, are very different reasons for terminating a relationship than more serious issues. If you broke up because of infidelity, abuse, toxic behaviors, incompatibility, then getting back together is probably not in your best interest. Though it may not always feel like it. You sometimes not everything's toxic. Sometimes you just think it's toxic because of the subject or what you were talking about made you upset. Okay, but you have to understand that without ample self-therapy, going through your own emotions yourself and figuring things out, and some hard work and consideration, you can't really understand what happened. So you need to take time to yourself. That's why sometimes having a little bit of space is actually healthy. It's not a bad sign sometimes if you got to take space. And carefully consider your reasons for breaking up and whether the relationship is genuinely bound to be healthy in a long-term run if you reunite. Now, I've seen couples, and like I've mentioned in my previous videos, that were broken up for 6 months. The other person met somebody that was 100% compatible, but they still found themselves yearning for their ex, and they got back with them, and they actually married them. Okay, so just because a couple months go by, and you're like, yep, yeah, it's been a couple of months, we haven't talked, nothing healthy's happened between us, that does not mean that they are not meant for you. But pay attention to signs that do mean they're not meant for you too. Let's not be unrealistic about things, okay? Number 2, are you going back for the right reasons, okay? Going back to a relationship because of eccentric reasons, and such as your partner providing you with a home, a car, money, job, other material goods, will not make a rewarding relationship. It's not healthy to do it. It's not right to do it. Okay. Just because they've done you wrong doesn't mean you take a wrong step in order to right the wrong. Remember the old saying, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Okay. And it doesn't matter how hurt or what they've done to you or how they've affected you. It's not healthy for you to be in something that you don't want to be in, regardless if it's giving you some sense of security somewhere. Doesn't matter. Get out, bite the bullet. What I always tell people when I meet clients who say, yeah, but they wronged me. No, they don't. They don't owe you anything, and you don't owe them anything. And if the relationship is over, it's over. There's nothing about owing left over to talk about. Okay, first of all, no human is born owing you anything, and no human who dies is ever going to owe you anything. Everything you do in life is a choice. You've chosen to be with them. You've chosen to provide and do the things you've done with them. You made those choices. If you thought you were owed something because of them, then you weren't being healthy in your relationship yourself. Okay. So if going back to your ex is a matter of not wanting to take responsibility, financial, emotional, or otherwise, speak to friends and family. I always tell my clients when they say, oh, I was just feeling lonely, so I turned back to them, or I need some financial security, I wasn't ready to be by myself. I always say, what would you do if they didn't exist right now? What would you do if they got hit by a car and they died? Because whatever that is what you would need to do, period. Because you need to move away from a relationship if you're not happy. Reuniting with an ex should only be an option if you genuinely feel love and you're actually going to do something about it. And it's got to be positive support. Can't be something where you're sitting there wondering when you're going to get out. Okay? Don't go back. You're wasting your time. You're wasting theirs. You're only hurting yourself no matter what your justification is. Okay? Number 3, are you truly committed to making it work? Okay? Re-entering a relationship with an ex should be considered if you're truly committed to making change that's valuable to the relationship, right? And, that means uncovering and discussing all the reasons it didn't work before, right? Remember, you can't go back and repeat the same things and go, now it's going to be okay. That's what insane people think, right? They think if I do it the same and I keep repeating myself, or I just say it a little bit different, they're going to start understanding all of a sudden. No, if they disagreed with you already and you disagreed with them, it doesn't matter what angle or what words you change in the way you say it to somebody, their feelings are going to remain the same at the end of the day. Remember, if you carry around bricks from your past into the new one, you will build the same house. Okay? I always tell people, listen to that line. It's very, very, it's a good, vital thing to think about. If you carry the same bricks around from every mistake you've had, you will build the exact same house again. Okay? Number 4, is your partner on the same page as you are? Okay? While you may be fully motivated to rebuild your relationship and believe you can make it work, if your ex-partner is not fully dedicated to repairing your relationship, it's unlikely to succeed. Okay? Now, if you messed up with somebody and you're trying to get them back, that doesn't mean the day you talk to them or even the first couple of weeks, they need to be right on dot with you about wanting to do it again. But after a couple of weeks, maybe about a month, they should kind of start be leaning into, you know what, I'm glad you came back. I'm glad we're doing this. And I've made the choice to, dedicate myself to it as well. Openly discuss your ex's thoughts, okay? Feelings, desires, his or her willingness to rebuild the relationship, and what it means to them. Make sure it's on the same page, okay? To recap, 4 things, okay? I want you to remember these. You got to write them down. If you got to type them, if you got to say them out loud, just keep listening, praise to God, whatever you got to do. Why did you break up? Are you going back for the right reasons? Are you truly committed to making it work? And is your partner on the same page? This stuff is very simple. This isn't complicated. You're either going to have the same arguments you already had, or you're going to be on the same page at the end of the day. But bring up these 4 things and you'll find some success. And if they're on the same page with these 4 things with you, you know what? Maybe it's worth taking another look at. It's okay to admit sometimes that you miss them, you want them, and you're hoping they feel the same way, okay? And if you want to book a personal session with me to talk about these things, contact me at the email below. And if you found value in this video and you want to show your appreciation, click on the donation link below, and I will talk to you soon.